Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In the previous episode, I went over how to get around Studio. In this episode, I'm going to be going over actual scripting. Yep, it's going to be pretty fun. So we're going to be going over the very basics in this episode. Properties, printing, and variables. So what you want to do is you want to go in Server Script Service, insert a script, right? The script will start out with a default print statement, and I'll go over what this means. So print is the default function which posts a message in output, right? To call functions, you have to do the brackets, so you can call print like that, and then whatever's inside those brackets is called an argument. The argument is hello world in this case. So we'll see what this does if we click run. If you click run, it goes into the output and it prints hello world from server in the line 1. This is a very basic print statement. Prints are mainly used for debugging purposes, so that you can see where your code breaks exactly. They can also be used for, little Easter eggs in game. If you press the F9 button, it shows the output window in like a little GUI that you can have a look around with. And all print statements on the client will show up there. Then there's you can print anything. You can print a string, which is text value, number values, Boolean values, and basically any value you can think of. Next is variables. So variables, there's 3 types. There's local variables, which are defined by typing local, then the variable name, then an equal sign, then the value. Values can be anything, strings, numbers, tables, etc. And next is a global variable. Global variables are defined like this. You just type the normal variable name. And then there's super global variables. They are defined like this. And they go across all scripts rather than just this script. Global variables go across all of this script. Local variables go across the current is it called the current? It's not really a thread. I forgot what they're called now, but basically, in a function, which I'll go over functions in a later episode, but a basic function is like this, right? So if I type local a equals 5, that will print 5, right? But if I print a out here, it will print it. You can see that it says the variable doesn't exist. So this variable only exists inside of this function and any sub function. So if I do like a function through 2 and print a, it'll work. But anything outside of this, anything that's not in between this end and this function, won't recognize a as a variable. That's very basics on variables. You can print variables, which you saw there. One thing I should note is that local variables should most be used in all the situations possible, as they are, I'm pretty sure they are faster. It's by a very small amount faster, but they're still faster. So you can print my variable, run, and in the output, it prints 10. So that's variables and printing. The next thing is editing part properties. So you want to start out with defining the variable for the part, right? Now you want to index the part. Indexing is basically getting the location. So the location isn't workspace. So you want to type game, which is this. The game is all of these. It's what all these are stored inside of. Dot workspace. Now you got the workspace. You do dot part. So that's indexing this. Oh, my bad. That's indexing this part in game. So now you can edit the properties by indexing that property. If you go in the properties window, you can see the name of all the properties. So let's try changing the color. Part.brickcolor equals brickcolor.new, and then let's just do 255, 255, 255. Right, so if I run this, you can see it changes color to completely white. This is indexing the property. You can index all of these properties and change all of them. Besides, I don't think you can change the ones that are obviously no, like the blacked out ones, but you can change all of the ones that you can normally change. So you can change orientation, position. There's a hidden one you can change called C-frame. It doesn't just work for parts as well. You can edit the properties of tools. You can edit the properties of a humanoid by simply doing dot humanoid and then indexing the property. So dot health minus equals 1. So that's taken away 1 from the health. So if I run this code and I look in workspace and the humanoid, the health is 99. But if I stop the code, the health is 100. That's very basics on properties. All the properties, you will have to edit them at some point. Like if you want to make a flying part, you'll have to constantly edit the C-frame. Or if you want the part to rotate in game, you have to edit the orientation so that the orientation changes and stuff like that. Editing properties is a very useful thing to know how to do. You can edit all of these properties, yeah. Some of them you might have to, you can't just type the thing in. For some of them you have to do things like what I did with brick color, where you do brick color.new or color3.new, edits the normal color. Materials, enum.material, and I'll go over what all of these are in I can't remember if it's the next episode that I have planned, but in another episode I'll go over enums and brick colors and what they all mean and how to use them all. What's next? CanCollide. Let's just edit CanCollide, right? So workspace.part.cancollide equals false, right? So if I click, I better anchor it, otherwise it'll fall. If I click play here, it should let me walk through the part. Obviously, you can see this can be useful because you can make things like VIP doors. You can make anything that you need to walk through parts at certain points with. So yeah, it's a very useful thing to know. You can do it in any type of script, not just server scripts, but I'll go over different types of scripts in another episode. I know I'm saying that a lot, but I want to try to keep the episodes as short as possible. Some of them it'll be hard to do, but with the majority of them I want them short, fast, so you don't have to spend loads of time watching and stuff like that. Anyways, that's the end of this tutorial, and I've gone over properties, printing, and variables. In the next tutorial, we'll probably be going over either if statements, or we'll be going over things like brick colors, enums, vectors, and stuff like that. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you have any suggestions for tutorials you want, it can be anything from data stores to how to make a sword to how to make, I don't know, Robin system from Jailbreak. Anything that you guys want, just leave it in the comments and I'll try my best to get back to you and do them. But besides that, that's the end of this tutorial and I'll see you in the next one.